right, how's everybody doing today? Thank you so much for joining me. All right, so what I'm doing today is I'm going to update the last video I did for the DEMA Crossover. Couple things I want to try and add to the strategy. All right, so on a previous video, I created a if condition box for the exit when the fast crosses below the slow DEMA for the long and vice versa for the short. The reason why I want to update it is because we have a long condition, short condition where we enter long and short, and then we have a separate box for the exit and the long. So what I want to do is keep this, keep this strategy's integrity together as a, don't want to keep them separate. So what I want to do is I want to try something. Let's see if it works. All right, so what I'm going to do is add. All right, so let me do that again. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna do another one. Just gonna copy and paste. All right. So what I'm gonna do is transpose these conditions into this block. All right. So we're gonna do put the exit. All right. So they match. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna delete this box. And now we have those conditions that was in the previous box within the condition box along with the long and short conditions. All right, so I'm just going to save that. All right, so the goal is to see if the exit will still work now inside of the box as opposed to it being inside of the box. I'm just going to do this over here. All right, so as we can see right now, it's not selected. Keep an eye on these details right here. So it worked. All right, so being that it worked, what we're going to do is keep that the way it is so we don't have any other conditions outside of the main box. They're all together. All right, so there's another thing that I wanted to do also. What I wanted to do was update the money management in this strategy. There is another strategy within the strategy for new users called draw and borrow with exits. Let me just bring that up. right, so what this is basically a template also, created by Quagensia. So people just starting out, just like us, can grab an indicator, not excuse me, grab a strategy, pull it up, look at it, study it, gives you all the information regarding the strategy, what it can do, its purpose. So basically, what this strategy does is it gives you the option to use three possible types of protective stops: the stop loss trailing stop or the parabolic trailing stop, and you'll be able to optimize in between those three, as opposed to just having the trail stop or the stop loss is just the parabolic. So what I want to do is take the money management from this strategy. You can see, let me just shrink these out so you can see. The reason why I said that is because I used it. This is a viewable strategy and you can't change it, so it's letting you know that you're changing um, a strategy that shouldn't be changed. Right, so as you can see, this is the money management system from here down. Stop loss calculation, you'll be able to choose in between these. It gives you basically everything you need for the money management to protect your trades. All right. All right. I just wanted to show you that so you can see it. All right, so what I'm going to do is go all the way down. All right, so this is the beginning. All right, so let me put these side by side first. And what I want to do is get rid of the profit and loss that I already have on here. To the bottom. Delete these. Right, so what I'm going to do is multi-select. Let me see, that's one box. Right, here's another one. All right, before we get to the money management, which also has if blocks used. All right, so I'm going to start up top. Start multi-selection. Copy those over here. And you don't have to go up to the gear. For some reason, I like to do it sometimes, depending. If you click here, you can also do it. Paste after me. And it works. So it didn't get tangled up in the other F block. So what we can do is we can close out this. We can focus on the money management. Alright, so there we go. As you can see, everything transferred over to the DEMA Crossover. Alright, we still have to add the last two blocks. So what I'm going to do is just going to add one if block there. Scroll down, make sure I'm where I need to be. Start multi-selection. Copy. paste. Alright, so what we did was just transferred money management system in under a couple of minutes from one strategy that's already within Quagensia, which makes it simple for newbies to just, for us to just be able to create strategies without knowing code and losing our mind behind it. Alright, so let's go up to the top. Let's see what it dropped off in the parameters. Alright, as you can see, it brought over everything. Alright, so what I want to do is make sure I align them the same way that's in the strategy over here. I'm going to drop that one first. Drop that one. Alright, so stop loss calculation mode. Alright, so we can just drop those behind one another because they seem to be all in order. Calculation. Alright. Alright, so we're going to have to go down and go through some more, but I'm just going to get them all down there. I tried to do that so we can get it all in order without having to play with this too much. Alright, so the only thing we got to seem to get in order is the profit target. Back up. Alright, so it's all in order. Alright, good deal. And as you can see, I'm going to close this out now. Since we got everything we need from this strategy to bring over to here for the money management, we're pretty much good with that. So we're going to just close that out. Alright, so as you can see, still learning myself. When Brooke put this together, I looked at it. It still looks confusing to me. Sometimes I just got to look through it and just study it and see exactly what he did. But it's pretty much self-explanatory. Not so. Excuse me. You got to apologize. I always say that. It's pretty much easy to look at and see. How to figure out what to do in putting it together. Um, but this is what he did to create, a strategy to start from. Um, if you didn't know how to add the money management, you know, coming straight to Quagensia. A little bit of a learning curve, like I mentioned previously, but this is a great software, man. Like, if he didn't do this, I mean, I more than likely still would have gotten it, because of the fact that it's a click and point software to build strategies. But this made it like more incredible with all the things that's added to it and things that you can do with it. All right, all right, just showing you. He also likes to put a lot of information within the code to explain so you can know exactly what's going on. Right, so it's the money management model outside. Then one of our updates. See, he used the numbers specifically for the modules. Then use those same numbers up here. All right, got that update. All right, so let me save that. See how it shows up on the strategy. All right, so there we go. Full money management system in place within minutes. Too easy. Right, so what I would like to do now, since we got that all set up, just want to run a little optimization on it. So let's go over here. I already have one set up, so let's just see what we can do. So what we can do is we can optimize the exit as well as one, three. I'm gonna set this as ticks. And for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it to 2 all around the board. This just brings it in closer as opposed to it being wide. Yep, leave it just like that. So that'll help with the optimization. Of course, we're going to leave that set to true. Ticks. right, everything else is set. All right, people, let's see what this does. All right. So let's see if it used. Let's see exact. Let's see what it used actually. All right. So it chose to use the MA cross exit over using a protective stop. Let's see. That's the beauty of being able to do this. Let's see what another strategy chose. All right. So this one chose the protective stop over using the exit. Let's compare the two. All right. It used the exit, lower profit, lower, excuse me, lower profit factor, lower net profit, higher net profit, higher profit factor. Go to analysis. I had a rough beginning, but went up, couple dips, went up, and went up. Not bad. Let's just change the settings on and recall to see exactly if that does anything different. Oh, change it on the wrong one, y'all. All right, so we got some more results. I draw down. Let's see what this decided to use. That decided to use the MA cross. This decided to use a protective stop. So as you can see, it's working. It just chose to use the stop loss. So a very quick snatch and grab from another strategy to put into the DEMA cross strategy to create a more robust money management system within the strategy. To have options as opposed to just sticking to the trail stop. All right, so we got that. So what I'm gonna do to make it easier for future videos is to be able to just have a template specifically for creating other strategies. So what I'm going to do is make a copy of this, right? What I'm going to do is just name this template. So the only thing I would have to do, grab this template, create a strategy based off of this template that I already have. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the fast MA, slow MA, and the exit. I'm going to strip it of those conditions so we can just have a straight template without anything else in it. Alright, so I'm going to create a comment box. Just put main logic. Delete this. Just add a log, but in order for this to stay here without it causing an error, so just got to put something within to set these. Right. So now we got our template set up. Here we go. But now I'm not going to generate the code. I'm just going to save it. If I generate it, it's going to put it on NinjaTrader, but I don't want to do that because it's just a template. So I'm just going to save it. All right, so we good to go with a template. So any future videos, that's what I will be grabbing to start when we start making different strategies. Right. But there's one thing that I wanted to try though. There's one thing I wanted to try. We have one crossover. What I wanted to do was see if I can add another crossover using another moving average. Not sure how it's gonna work out, but I just wanted to see if it was possible. So we can optimize in between the two different crossovers. Right. So I'm gonna go outside the box a little bit. So I'm gonna take this out, take this out. Not sure how to proceed with this, but we'll work on that. Right, so what I want to do is create a boolean. Well, first, let me add two more MAs. Add the weighted. Add that. Then add another one for the slow. Alright, so let me go up here. And what I'm gonna do is what we're gonna do is add the same period for both of them. We're not gonna create a separate period. Not sure how that's gonna work out, but this is the trial and error. This is how I approach it. So I'm gonna put use DEMA cross. Make that a boolean. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that at false. I want to see if it'll work if I leave it at false. Then we're gonna use a cross. Boolean. Just gonna keep that false. All right, and all right, yeah, all right, so we're good. Okay, so for showing the indicators. Let's do this. If use DEMA is equal to true. Alright, so anytime it's true, it'll show the fast and the slow DEMA. But if it's not, it won't show it. So you don't have to worry about turning the plot on and off. And do the same thing. Just choosing any color instead of the default colors. Alright, so let me go back up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is create booleans specifically for the weighted moving average and the double exponential moving average. So basically going to name them the same thing. Use cross. Just going to make this a boolean. I'm just going to set these to true. Remember, this is trial and error for me right now as well. So as I'm going through it with you guys, I'm just still figuring it out. So I appreciate you. All right. So I set those to a condition specifically to mimic what we can put in here, except it's just going to be set outside of the condition. And it's going to be like a boolean like the rest of these. All right, so I need to make two. Make that an and. Now the reason why I'm making this and is because these are set to false. The reason why is because what I'm going to put is use DEMA cross is equal to true and this condition. Okay. All right, so I may have to add two more. Oh, let's try this. Because I forgot I have long and short. Right, so true, and or oh, back up. I love that button. Copy. All right. So for the MA cross, excuse me, for the MA cross, if the DEMA cross is set to true and the fast DEMA cross above the slow MA is for long, but only if these conditions, where'd it go? Only if these conditions are met. If these conditions are met, then it'll take the long. If these conditions are met, then it'll take the short. All right. All right. So let me get that out of there. So what I have to do now is add this boolean to this conditional box. Now I don't know if this is going to work. We're just going to find out right now to see if it does work. So I'm going to come back and set this up, but I just want to test and see if it still will work properly the way I have it set up now as opposed to the way it was when it was inside here. And this might cause an issue, the exit. So what I have to do is more than likely create booleans for this also. So we got the demo all set up. Right, I'm just gonna leave those right there. This is just a test to see. Nope. Alright, so what could we do different? Let's separate these. Alright, I'm not gonna work on the WM, we'll just work on this first. So I'm gonna make this long. Make that short. Alright, so now we got two different booleans set up. See if they don't interfere with one another. Alright, so I'm gonna snatch this from here. here. Now that could be the problem also. But once again, just working through. Loss. Alright, so let's try something different. Let's set these to false to see if that makes a difference. That didn't do it either, people. Alright, so let's do this. Let's change this to false, make that or, make that false, make that or. Go up here and make that true. Just to make it easier. See if that works out. Okay, so it worked. Right, so kept them totally separate. Probably makes sense to do that anyway. Um, this wasn't an interference, but we could actually make that a boolean also, for the exit specifically. All right, so now we got that. Let's set them up again for the WMA. All right, just getting everything set up. All right, so now just gonna make this easy. False. All right. So now that we added this, We have the weighted moving average. I'm also gonna have to update this. So we could do the same thing as we did up here for the entry, um, but let's just keep it a little simple. Bear with me 1 second, just going through a little brainstorm. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Just let's do it. And this is in no way, I'm just doing this the way I know how or just learning how to do. I mean, there are other ways that you can figure out how to do this, and I'm pretty sure there are many ways. Um, so please go for it, be adventurous, try something different. All right, so I'm just gonna set the exit variables. I apologize for being quiet. Just trying to get this set up for you guys. Mm-mm. Oh, that's why. Right. All right. So it got me thinking. All right. So if I don't keep these separated, there's a possibility that if the DEMA is trading, the WMA may exit for it if it's not saying. All right. So yeah, let's make sure it stays within it. You know, if the DEMA is true, this will use the DEMA only, and the WMA won't interfere with exiting while the DEMA is being used. So let me do this. Okay. All right. All right. And use DEMA cross is equal to true. Do this. Move this down. Use DEMA cross is equal to true, and it's equal to false, or it's equal to true. But either way, this would have to be true. All right. So we'll do the same for this. Add parentheses. All right. Good thing I thought of this now. Is it gonna work? Not sure. We're all gonna find out. But something just popped into my head thinking like, okay, so if I'm trying to optimize for both of them, the DEMA and the WMA, and I don't have them separated for the DEMA um, entry and exit the conditions to work as one unit, then it will more than likely, you know, cross between one another and cause the DEMA to exit on the WMA or the WMA to exit on the DEMA entry. So I just want to make sure that it's all separated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a parentheses around these two because since I'm using two MA crosses, I want to make sure that they're not used together. But what we'll do is find the better out of the two. Alright, so we got that set up. Okay, DEMA long exit is equal to, if u is equal to true, and is equal to false. Nothing will happen if these is equal to true, and then it will exit on it. Alright, but it has to be true for the DEMA. Alright, we're going to see how this works out, people. Alright, so what I'm also going to do is add a parentheses here and make that a or. WMA long exit parentheses or WMA short exit. Alright, so we got DM short exit, DM long exit, DEMA WMA short, DMA short, true false, DEMA WMA WMA. Okay, just check to see. False is equal to false below. False. And these all set to true. Wait a minute. Alright, let's save this, compile it, and see what happens. See exactly what happens. Alright, so I'm just going to play with the dials here and keep an eye on what's going on up there. Hmm. Definitely not working. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Let me put this to not equal to false. Basically means the same thing, but due to these parameters being set to true, it may be conflicting with one another because this is set to false. So these are set to false. This was the only one that was set. These were the only ones that were set to true, while the other ones were still set to true. So what you got to do is reverse it, not equal to false, still meaning true, but this has to be opposite of what the parameters were, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's see what happens. Still same thing. All right. So let's see what's going on. Let's change this to n. Let's change that to n. Back to where it was, and it worked. Notice I'm just using the DEMA cross and the DEMA exit. That is the same results that was on there last time. Alright, so now we know we can remove these parentheses. Remove these parentheses. Alright, remove those. Remove those. Alright, so it seems that we may have everything set up. Next test is to see if the WMA works. So I'm going to have to change this to MA settings, being that it's universal for both of them. Alright, remember we changed the WMA to the green. Alright, so let's see what happens if we add both. Alright, so we got both there. So now we know that both of them work. Alright, so let's do a little optimization on them. Alright, so this may take a little bit of time because I'm going to throw optimize on both of them. And there's a possibility that the strategy may choose to use both. Alright, so let's get it going. Let's see what happens. I do have the iteration set kind of high just to get more results back. You know, keep best results 250. Just trying to maximize the best results. So it takes a little bit of a time. Alright, so we got, seems like we got some decent results back. Let's see what we got here. 73.92% profitable. Performance through the roof. Gross loss, you know, kind of higher. Profit factor 150, decent. Drawdown in 1,000, very decent. So, and that is for, okay, so that is for the DEMA. That's the color. And let's check to see if it shows. Yep. Wonder why I did that. Let me look at this. Alright, so it's supposed to be using the exit, but for some reason it's not activating. It's going straight to end of day, which is causing serious. Alright, so let's see why that's happening. We know the entries are okay. Let's just close these up. Alright, so let's try to revert these back to OR. I just want to see. Alright, there we go. Okay, so as you can see now, it's now taking the exits from the weighted moving average. Right, but do you see how easy that was to just change that around to get the results that you wanted? Alright, so let's run this back. Alright, so let's run this back one more time. So I know y'all got better things to do than keep hearing me run my mouth. Alright, so let's just optimize this one more time so you guys can see. See, it's taking a little bit longer than it was before. And that's due to the update of the parameters being correct now. So it's more than likely doing more than what it did before. All right. So we got the results back. All of these on optimize. All right. So as you can see, a lot of the same. A lot of them are the same. Now, there's definitely something wrong because it's still crossing over. It's still doing a cross exit and it's not selected. Hmm. Alright, so not equal to false, which has to be true. This is equal to true. Alright, I'm gonna try something different here. Just want to change up what's in them. Let's see exactly if that will cause a difference. So I'm just gonna change this. This is a test. This is just a test. Wait, wait, wait. Alright, so that did not work. Going to the end of the day again. So let's just put these back to true. And this is what I'm gonna do this time. Let's see. Put that back to or false. So I'm gonna remove these. Leave the parentheses, it doesn't matter. It's doing what it's supposed to, but hmm, not selected was still there, but it's not false. Alright, true. Alright, pardon me, people. Just want to make sure I get this right. Just complete with this. I'm gonna leave that right there, just the way it is. I just want to see something. But I'm glad I did find what was going. Something is just not right. the same thing keeps happening, people. So I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see. Just gonna play with it for a little bit more. Don't want to keep you guys on long. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I went through all of that for nothing. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go all the way back again. All right. So that's set to true. All right. Is equal to false or equal to false or equal to. I think this was it. I'm not sure. I just caught it. That shouldn't have been there. All right, so it's working. Still working while it's not selected. Hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back, go through everything again, test this. All right. So I see you guys again, updated again on this one. Of course, come back. Appreciate you joining me today. I really do appreciate you. Um, it's a learning process, you know. But got pretty far. Things did work. We just got to get this exit down. That's all. That should be an easy fix. So I'm going to work on this some more. And then when I find, from my understanding of what I'm doing wrong, I'll come back and explain everything and we could get it going from there. All right. Thank you so much for joining me again. I really do appreciate you. And you guys have a blessed day.